Okay, so hey guys and welcome back to another Sport This Week video, and in today's video I've got tennis, baseball, NFL, rugby, ice hockey, cricket, football, UFC, boxing, and yeah, I believe that's all the sports news this week. Like the video if you do need like the video, subscribe if you're new, and let's get straight into it. So starting off this week, I'm going to start off with the tennis news, where Katsakina won 2-1 versus Rogers to win the women's singles Silicon Valley Classic. And then it was the Canada Masters, where Raducanu lost 2-0 versus Georgie. Sakari won 2-1 versus Stephens. Alcaraz lost 2-1 versus Paul. Swiatek won 2-0 versus Tomljanovic. Medvedev lost 2-1 versus Kyrgios. Kontaviet lost 2-0 versus Tishman. Jabeur lost via retirement versus Zeng. Tsitsipas lost 2-0 versus Draper. Swiatek lost 2-1 versus Haddad Maia. Sakari lost 2-1 versus Pliskova. Halep won 2-1 versus Haddad Maia to win the women's singles Canada Masters, and Carreno Buster won 2-1 versus Hurkacz to win the men's singles Canada Masters. And yeah, that is all the tennis news. Moving on to the baseball news now. Dodgers won 4-0 versus Padres. Yankees won 9-4 versus Mariners. Red Sox lost 9-7 versus Braves. Astros won 7-5 versus Rangers. Yankees lost 1-0 versus Mariners. Dodgers won 10-3 versus Twins. The Yankees lost 4-3 versus Mariners. Red Sox lost 8-4 versus Braves. Astros lost 8-4 versus Rangers. Dodgers won 8-5 versus Twins. Astros won 7-3 versus Rangers. Red Sox won 4-3 versus Orioles. Red Sox won 3-2 versus Yankees. Dodgers won 8-3 versus Royals. Astros won 7-5 versus Athletics. Astros won 8-0 versus Athletics. Dodgers won 13-3 versus Royals. Yankees won 3-2 versus Red Sox. Dodgers lost 4-0 versus Royals. And Astros won 6-3 versus Athletics. And yeah, that is all the baseball news. Moving on to the NFL news now, where it is the continuation of the preseason. Patriots lost 23-21 versus Giants. Packers lost 28-21 versus 49ers. Chiefs lost 19-14 versus Braves. Dodgers won 26-24 versus Buccaneers. Rams won 29-22 versus Chargers. And Ravens are extending Tucker. And yeah, that is all the NFL news. Moving on to the rugby news now. New Zealand won 35-23 versus South Africa. And Australia lost 48-17 versus Argentina. And yeah, that is all the rugby news. Moving on to the ice hockey now. Bergeron has signed a one-year deal with Bruins. Krejci has signed a one-year deal with Bruins. Kraus has signed a 5-year deal with Coyotes. Zacher has signed a one-year deal with Bruins. Roy has signed a 5-year deal with Golden Knights. Rangers name Trouba as captain. Nikas has signed a 2-year deal with Hurricanes. And yeah, that's all the ice hockey news. Moving on to the cricket news. Ireland won by 7 wickets versus Afghanistan. Bangladesh won by 105 runs versus Zimbabwe. New Zealand won by 13 runs versus West Indies. Ireland won by 5 wickets versus Afghanistan. Afghanistan won by 22 runs versus Ireland. And New Zealand won by 90 runs versus West Indies. And yeah, that is all the cricket news. Moving on to the football news now. Cody has joined Everton. Guedes has joined Wolves. Smith has signed a 2-year contract extension with Bournemouth. Neto has joined Bournemouth. Sensei has joined Bournemouth. Angelino has joined Hoffenheim. Sesko has joined Leipzig. Onana has joined Everton. Werner has joined Leipzig. Chowdhury has joined Watford. Damsgaard has joined Brentford. Hope has joined Middlesbrough. Bright has signed a 3-year contract extension with Chelsea. Elliott has signed a 5-year contract extension with Liverpool. Teller has joined Burnley. Dortmund won 3-1 versus Freiburg. Moat has joined Middlesbrough. Villa won 2-1 versus Everton. Arsenal won 4-2 versus Leicester. Brighton drew 0-0 versus Newcastle. Man City won 4-0 versus Bournemouth. Leeds drew 2-2 versus Southampton. Wolves drew 0-0 versus Fulham. Brentford won 4-0 versus Man United. Man United in the mud at the bottom of the table at the moment. Koyate has joined Forest. Forest won 1-0 versus West Ham. Dennis has joined Forest. Chelsea drew 2-2 versus Spurs, and Bayern won 2-0 versus Wolfsburg. And yeah, that is all of the football news. Moving on to the boxing news now. Castro will fight on the 17th of September. Price versus Bielik. Dubois versus Koleva. Artenstall versus Sakharov. Jones versus Caballero, Hunter versus Alvarez, Ryan versus El Quiasi, and O'Connor will fight on the 10th of September. Ben will fight Eubank Jr. on the 8th of October, which is a huge fight, a generational fight as the dads fought and now the sons are fighting. Vase Temper will fight Slim on the 27th of August. Frazier Clark will fight on the 3rd of September. Brown has joined Queensberry. Bentley versus Morrison. Kane, Zorro versus Spellman. Willie Hutchinson. Barney Smith versus Holt. Arnold, Muhammad Ali, Obadai, and Kovda Kodva will fight on the 16th of September. Fury has vacated the Ring Magazine belt, so that means that Usyk versus Joshua will also have that belt on the line. Lopez won by TKO in round 7 versus Camper to become North American Boxing Federation and WBO Super Lightweight Champion. And Ferrier won by unanimous decision versus Velez. And yeah, that is all the boxing news. Moving on to the final sport now, which is the UFC news. Chuka Guion will fight Fiorot on the 22nd of October. Blanchfield will fight McCann on the 12th of November. Landwehr won by decision versus Onama. And Vera won by KO in round 4 versus Cruz. And yeah, that is it for today's video. There's going to be hopefully quite a few videos coming this week. Hope you are looking forward to that. And hope you did enjoy this video. Like the video if you didn't like the video, subscribe if you're new. And thanks for watching.